Well, good morning, everybody. It's Saturday morning, and this is game 100 of the Phillies 2008 Super Advanced as played replay. This is the start of a series with the New York Mets at Shea Stadium. I believe the date of this game was July 22nd, yes, and it was a night game. I know that David over at Baseball Demos had indicated that probably around 10 o'clock he was going to be running a game. So, fortunately, my stat updates and everything got done in time so that I could throw this together and be ready to go. So, let's try to get this game done so that he can have the stage, so to speak. Um, this is the first game that the Phillies played since they acquired Joe Blanton from, I believe it was the Athletics. I forget who they sent to the Athletics in that trade, but this is Blanton's first start for them. Obviously, he has gone on to have a rather, um, we'll say, lengthy career for a major leaguer. Um, you know, you get more than you get more than 5 years, I think you're doing pretty well. A lot of guys don't ever last that long. So another thing I'm going to introduce is I got some new dice. So I've got some orange dice, which I think go well but I've got a bunch of other colors too. I figured the orange goes well with the blue D20 since it is at Shea Stadium. I figured we'd try to use Mets colors. Good morning, Al. So let's get this game underway. Phillies with a little different lineup than they usually run out uh, against left-hander Johan Santana for the Mets. So Jimmy Rollins does lead off as usual, but then Chase Utley is at second base, batting second. Usually he's in the 3 hole. Pat Burrell moves up to the third spot, playing in left. Then normal cleanup hitter Ryan Howard playing first base. Then Worth in right. Felice at third base. Victorino down the lineup in seventh slot, playing in center. Carlos Ruiz catching. And Joe Blanton on the mound and batting last. The pitcher for the Mets here to start will be Johan Santana, as I said. Let's get the conditions. It's a night game in July, so we will roll, and it's a 20, so it's going to be the worst conditions. We're going to have zeros for singles and 5 for home runs. So it's going to really knock down the number of hits we're going to have here. So, all right, let's go. Lefty Santana against righty Blanton. Rollins will be leading off. And I want to see how these look. That looks pretty decent. 310. Against a lefty, he grounds out to the third baseman, David Wright. And we're underway. Chase Utley. And he will draw a walk. So, let's see. Santana, decent at holding, -2. And Castro, the Mets catchers, is 0. So, Utley's going to try to get a lead. He could steal if he does successfully get a 5. He gets a 4, so nope. Hi, Larry. So, Burrell will be up with Utley at first and 1 away. And that's a 5-7 against a righty. And 5-7 is a 1-4 triple, 5-20 single. So that is a 1. That will be a triple for Burrell. He is very winded after that, but that is going to score Utley from first, and that will be the first run of the game for the Fighting Phillies. So Burrell knocks one around out there in the outfield, and so Ryan Howard with another run 90 feet away, 1 out. And a 1-9 against a lefty. That is a, let's see, that is a, oh boy. 1-2 double, 3-20 single. This is going to score a run. That is a 16, so single. And that will score Burrell and Phillies with an early 2-0 lead. That's okay. What's wrong? Okay.
They're two different teams.
All right, good. Yep. All right, so Worth now at the plate. Howard at first. Not much of a stolen base threat. We're not going to even try. Against the lefty, 2-6 ballpark home run, 1-5. Is it going to go? It's a 7. That will stay in. That will be out number 2. And Howard heads back to first. Pedro Feliz, 2-11. Against the lefty, that'll be a grounder to first base. Santana will cover. But 2 runs for the Phillies is a nice start. Yeah, that's true, Larry. You don't want to horse around with Santana. He can get dominant later on. So Blanton in his first start with the Phils. Just for the record, there are 2 cards available for Blanton. I am using the short season one since I figured that is the closest to his. I mean, we're not simulating his full season. We're simulating the rest of his season from when he joined the Phillies. So these are his stats after joining the Phillies. I'm not sure how much different the stat. Let's see. Obviously, it being in the American League, it did inflate his ERA a couple of tenths of a point. So we're going to use what he had at the Phillies, and that should give us a relatively accurate depiction of his performance. Okay. Jose Reyes at short for the Mets will lead off, and then Endy Chavez in right, David Wright at third base, Carlos Beltran in center field. At first will be Carlos Delgado, Damian Easley second, Marlon Anderson in left, Ramon Castro catching, and as we've already said, Johan Santana. Right, baseball demos, and I'm trying to get this done so I can clear the path for you to get started at 10 o'clock or whenever you're ready to go. So, Reyes leading off against a righty, 3-12, and he fouls down the left field line, and it'll be caught there by Feliz. 1 away. I gotta move these cards. That's where I put my, when I flip them. Endy Chavez against a righty. That'll be a grounder down to Howard, who will underhand it to the covering Blanton on the ground ball C. And David Wright against a righty, 6-5, strikes him out. So a nice start for Joe. Joe who? Joe Blanton. No rush at all? Okay, I'm going to be here for 3 hours then. All right, Victorino. Hey, this worked out well. Charlie Manuel must have had something in mind here because you kind of get 2 leadoff guys if you put Victorino down as opposed to having sort of the 2 speed guys back to back. But we'll see what happens here with Victorino. 4-11 batting from the right against the lefty. That will be a grounder to short, and so Jose Reyes makes no hay with that. Carlos Ruiz, 1-8. That'll be pop out to Reyes for out number 2. And now Blantone. Pitcher's hitting card number 1. And against a righty, double check. Yes, he bats from the right. That is a strikeout, as you might expect from the pitcher. No runs, no hits, no errors. Going to the bottom of the second, 2-0 visitors. Visitors. Carlos Beltran. Scary part of the order here. You got Beltran, Delgado, then not so much easily, but don't want to underestimate him either. 6'4", batting from the left. Grounder to Phillies, 2E12. And a 2 and a 3, that might be a hit. Let's see. No, that is a G3 with a pound sign, which means that if it's an infield in, or if that fielder is holding a runner, which that is not the case in either case, so he will get to this. Will he make the play on an E12? E12 and a 7 at third base is a fine play. That's out number 1. Carlos Delgado, the lefty first baseman. That's a 4-8 against a lefty. 1-3 single chance. But a 13 will be a liner to Utley for out number 2. Damian Easley. Now, after I talked smack about him, he will probably do something. But a 110, no, that's a fly ball to center field, or to right field. Eyes are bugging me out here this morning. A 1-2-3. So Blanton, a fine start to his Phillies career so far. And we will go to the 3rd inning. I guess that switching leagues thing has really helped him out, at least 2 innings into this ball game. Top OD order. J-roll, grounded out. It's a 3-5, and he will ground out again on a grounder to second. So that'll be out number 1. Easily makes it look easy. Easily handles it easily. Chase Utley, 6'9", against a lefty, and he will single right up the middle. So 2 hits for, well, no, a hit and a walk. Sorry. Again, he's going to try to get a lead with 1 out. He needs a 5 on the total, and he gets it. So we do the math. He is a 19 on his good lead. Take 2 away for the hole being held. That's 17. Take 2 more. That's a 15. 1-15 stolen base, and it's a 2. Guess what? That means further. And actually, Ramon Castro is a throwing error 1-20. So he automatically, when that is a 1, 2, or 3, goes to third base. So Utley takes third on the miscue, the bad throw by Castro. And so Burrell at the plate with another chance to knock a guy in. 5'9" righty. That will be a strikeout. Big out there for Santana. And now Ryan Howard. Only 1 out. He does strike out as well. If there were 2 outs, that would be. Or wait a second. What am I saying? I thought there was only 1 out. There's 2 outs, right? Runner at third. 3-7 against the lefty. That is a clutch hit. He singles and scores Utley from third. So it's a good thing there's 2 outs. Howard with the big hit. 3-0 Phillies. Jason Worth now at the plate. Also extends the inning, gives another batter to come to the plate. 3-8 against a lefty. Well, and guess what? Good thing that wasn't a double because Howard's at first, he's not in scoring position. This remains a single to left. So Worth will be at first. Howard will hold up at second. And that brings up Pedro Feliz. I almost flipped the card. 2 on and 2 out. 4-5 against a righty, and that will end the inning. So 1 run on the clutch single by Ryan Howard. 3 hits, 2 left, and a 3-0 lead for Joe Blanton. And the bottom third of the order here, Marlon Anderson. 3-9, he hits a fly ball into right field that Worth will grab. Ramon Castro. Against a righty, that's a 5-10. Grounder to shortstop X. Rollins is a 1-E8. 1-1, nobody on base. That's the best time to get that, because a 1-1, if you got somebody on, the chances of, like if someone's on first, chances of Rollins having to hold, be responsible for holding are good, but with nobody on, that is still a G3. So the Phillies have gotten a break there each time. And with his rating, he needs 16, 17, or 18 to make the error. He doesn't get that. That total is 13. So 2 outs. Johan Santana. Oh. Let's roll this guy. There we go. 5-10. Santana batting from the left. That'll be another grounder to Jimmy Rollins. This time he will make much less of it. That's 7 on the total, and he will complete the 1-2-3 inning. So far, so good for the Phillies here in game 100. Yes, it's a nice milestone to reach. That's why I wanted to put it here, even though it's the first game of the series. I tend to like to do the last game of a series, but sometimes timing just works out better to do the first. And in this case, because it's game 100, it does. Shane Victorino on a 3-0 lead for the Phillies. It is 6-10. He is batting from the right side. That'll be a fly ball to center. Center fielder today is Carlos Beltran. A 1 range, a very good range. He will get to it. E3. It's a 10 total on the D6s, so he makes the catch. Carlos Ruiz. Wow, another 6-10. That's, again, a fly ball to center. And that's, what's interesting about that was we had the other roll in between. Okay, now here's an interesting one. 15. Let's see, he's E3 and 15 for a center fielder. Let's see. Oh, it's good. He makes a play. And 18 or 16 are the issues for the center fielder with that rating. So 2 outs, and it'll be Blanton, who struck out in his first at bat. There's 6-8 against a righty, and he strikes out again. So nothing doing for the Phillies in the fourth. Bottom of the order, 0 for 6 so far in this game. We will move to the bottom of the 4, and it will be the top of the order. Blanton has faced the minimum so far. It's Jose Reyes to start. Batting from the left side, 5'11", ballpark home run. He is normal power. 1-5. It's an 8. So he would bat from the left. That means it will be caught by Worth at the track. 1 down. Endy Chavez. 6-6 against a lefty. He'll draw a walk. First runner on base for the Mets. He's going to try and steal, hoping to, 12 won't do it. Hoping to get a lead so that maybe if they get a base knock here at some point in this inning, they can score him. But David Wright at the plate. That is hit deep, and it is out of here. Home run. They cut the lead to 3-2 on David Wright's bomb. 2-run shot, and just like that, Blanton's no-hitter's gone, and his shutout's gone. Nobody on with 1 out. Carlos Beltran. Phillies still with a 3-2 lead. And 2-5, he'll draw a walk. Guess what? He's speedy. He's going to try and steal a bag while Blanton's a little bit down. 9, he won't get the lead. Let's see. And Blanton's pretty decent at holding runners. So Delgado, another dangerous hitter, 410 against a lefty. Ballpark singles, they are zeros this time, so that's a liner to the second baseman Utley for out number 2. And Damian Easley with a runner at first and 2 outs. 5-8 against a righty, grounder to Utley. Let's see, it is Easley, which means that Utley is responsible for holding Beltran. So he will go from a 2 to a 3. 3-10, let's see. Still a G2, so he does get to it. Now he's an E14. He'll make the play. So 2 runs on 1 hit, the home run. 1 left. And the Phillies still ahead, but by a reduced margin, 3-2. Going to the 5th inning. And at top of the order again for the Phillies. This is the 3rd time Rollins will have led off his. He has been on a bit of a cold streak here for the Phillies lately. See if he can break out of it. But 2-8, yes, 2-8, yes, he will. Single. So Rollins on base. Chase Utley, they're holding Rollins. They're going to hit and run here. 4-9 against a lefty. That's a grounder to short. Could be a double play. The shortstop, let's see, Utley, a lefty. That means the shortstop would be holding Rollins at first as well. So that would make Reyes a 3, E18. 3-5 is that's going to be a G3 with a with the thing, because he's holding the runner. That is going to be a single. And let's make sure there's no error. That's a 12, so no error. But that's a single, and I believe because it's a hit and run play, it's automatically a single 2-star. Any single with an A or B is a single 2-star. So Utley sneaks it through the hole vacated by Reyes having to cover. And that makes it 1st and 3rd with nobody out for Pat Burrell. So the right-hander, Pat Burrell. Mets are going to play back. They would take 2 to get the out. 1-5 against a lefty. That is a 1-9 double chance. It's a 16. That will be a fly ball to left, but it is deep enough to score Rollins easily. That'll be a sac fly for Burrell. And so back to 4-2 lead there. Utley will hold. 2 outs, 1 out now. Utley's going to try to get a lead from first. Doesn't get it. Last time he got a lead, he stole a base, but he'll have to hold tight. Ryan Howard against a lefty, 6-5, and 6-5 is a problem. Normal home run, 1-11. It is a 3. It is gone out of here. Ryan Howard, and it is now a 6-2 lead for the Phillies. As Ryan Howard goes deep, and the Mets are going to have to start thinking about some bullpen action here for Johan. Phillies have gone a little crazy here so far. They're going to get Joe Smith warming up. So, see, Santana isn't tired until the 7th, but he's been relatively ineffective here. They're going to stick with him, though, at least try to get him 2 more outs in the next couple batters. Worth against a righty 5-5. That is a strikeout, so that'll be out number 2. The dot would mean if he retired, that would be a single, but he can't get tired until the 7th. So Pedro Feliz against a righty 4-7. That's another strikeout. So, and another one with a dot. But 3 runs on 3 hits. Nobody left. The big dinger by the big guy Ryan Howard is responsible for the 6-2 lead. And with Santana's spot coming up, I'm sure that they will pinch hit for him here. So bottom of the 5th, Marlon Anderson against the lefty 5-2. He is weak power against both lefties and righties, so this would be for a single 1-5. It's a 10, so that will be a fly out to Marlon Anderson's a lefty, so that'll be into right to Worth. 1 out. Ramon Castro against a righty 2-6. He also lifts one into the outfield, and it'll be caught in center field. And that brings up the pitcher spot. Mets are going to look to their bench. And against, let's see, they've got Schneider, and they're going to use our Hennis, maybe? Say it, Argenis Reyes? I don't know. Argenis, it looks like the way you would pronounce it, but I have a feeling that's not the case. So he will come up to bat here against Blanton with 2 outs and nobody on. 2-7. That is going to be a 1-14 single. He might get a pinch hit out of this. But it's a 19, and that'll be a liner. It's diving catch by Howard, and nothing doing. Almost had a chance there for the Mets, but they couldn't sneak it by the first baseman. And we're going to go to the 6th. It is still 6-2 Phillies. All right, well, Santana is gone. It'll be Joe Smith. All right, so Victorino will be the first to face Smith. Switch hitter. Batting from the left, a 4-8. Well, that is trouble. At least a double. A 1 gives him a triple. It's a 20. Complete opposite end, but take a double there for Victorino, for sure. Carlos Ruiz. And a potential passed ball. But Castro's a 0, so we don't have to worry about that. Victorino's not trying to steal at the moment. 5-3 against a righty. Fly ball to right field. X. Worth 2 range. 2 and a 9. He'll get to it. That is not Worth. Excuse me. That is, I'm thinking Phillies, but it's not Phillies. It's Chavez, a 2 and a 9. That's an F2. So, let's just make sure he doesn't get an error on the 9. So F2 and a 7 on right fielder. He's an E2. I think that's fine. So, yes. So what we have here is we have this chance where Victorino could move the 3rd on this play. What it is it's going to be his speed. Let me see. It tells you here on the sheet. Speed plus outfielder's arm. So Chavez -2. So Victorino is a 17. -2 is a 15. And that is his safe chances, correct? So this isn't that thing where you get the buffer. This is just we're trying to do it. So let's see. 10, he does make it. So that's 9, and then we go. We'll put 8 here. So that brings up Blanton with a runner at third. Not going to try the bunt here. Let's see, is Blanton any good? No, he's an A bunter. Let me see. Let me see what the squeeze chances. I don't use the squeeze a lot. There's a lot more bad than good on the squeeze, but he is an A. They're expecting it. He's a pitcher's hitting card number 1. Let's give it a shot. We're going to try to squeeze. They've got a lead. He's going to lay down the bunt. Potential for passed ball or balk. Smith doesn't have a balk rating anyway, so or passed ball rating. So here we go. Laying down the bunt. It's a 9. And with a B, that is a bad bunt. They're going to get thrown out at the plate, I think. Bad bunt, lead runners out. There you go. So the sack, it's going to be a fielder's choice. 3 is the pitcher, so it'll be a 1-2, and that costs them the runner at third and an out. So Blanton hits it right to the pitcher, just mashes it like he's almost like he was trying to hit a home run, squaring it around. And so Rollins at the plate with Blanton at first and 2 outs. 6-10 against a lefty. Ballpark single. There aren't any, so that'll be a liner to Easley, and that will end the inning. So no runs in the 6th. Hopefully that doesn't come back to bite the Phillies later, but all right. So Blanton's still in there. Hasn't reached his point, or he's reached the ending of weakness, but hasn't reached his point of weakness. Here is Reyes to lead off. 6-7, batting from the left. That's a fly ball to center, and that's a good stroke of luck there for Blanton. 1 out. Andy Chavez, 4-7. He's batting from the left. That's a fly ball to left this time and caught. So 2 flyouts. And it'll be David Wright, who took him deep last time up. 2-run shot. And a 1-5, he will draw a walk. So Wright going to try and get moving here. Doesn't get the lead, though. So Blanton's got a -3. So he's not going to be able to go. Carlos Beltran, 2 outs. 4-8 against a lefty. 1-3 single. Otherwise, it'll be a line out to second. And there you go. That'll end the inning. So Blanton, pretty effective here in this game. They'll stick with him. And let's see them. With the lefties coming up, the Mets are going to call on Pedro Feliciano. In the 7th here. Pitching change. And it'll be Utley, Burrell, Howard. It's Chase Utley here to lead off the 7th. 6-2 Phillies. And against a lefty, that is a strikeout. Against the righty, he's hit by a pitch, so that works out in that case. Pat the bat. RBI on the sacrifice fly. He also drove in Utley in the first, so 2 runs batted in this game. 1-8 against a lefty. Well, he'll draw a walk. He is pretty good at doing that. That brings up Ryan Howard, who has gone yard here in this game. And a 6-9 against the lefty. 1-5 home run. Can he get another one? 1-5. It is going to stay. That'll be a fly ball to right, and that'll be the second out. Jason Worth. They could bring in a situational righty here to get Feliciano out. But he gets him to fly out to center, and that will end the seventh. The stretch here, Phillies still ahead by 4. 6-2. Feliciano does a pretty good job there. The Phillies will let Blanton continue here into the seventh. He has been pretty solid. Only 1 hit to his credit so far. The right home run, and here's Carlos Delgado to lead off. 5-6 batting from the left, and that is a strikeout. He has not reached his point of weakness. 1 out. Easily. That is going to be a grounder right back to Blanton, and that'll be out number 2. Marlon Anderson. That's a 2-9. And he strikes him out. So 2 strikeouts in the 7th here for Blanton, and this will probably be it for him. He's had a really solid outing. 1 hit allowed. So we are going to the 8th. The Mets are going to go back to the pen. They use they're going to use Carlos Muniz. Try and go easy with some of the other pitchers they have at the old ball game. That's right. So Pedro Feliz facing Muniz, and so he's a righty. 3-6, 1-7 home run, and this one is out of here. Pedro Feliz goes yard on him, and that makes it 7-2. In real life, the Phillies won this 8-6. The Mets haven't gotten the production yet, but man, that was quite a roll there. That makes it 7-2. Shane Victorino against a lefty, 4-12. That will be a grounder to second for the out. 1 down. Carlos Ruiz against a righty, 2-7. That's a grounder to short. Rollins will, or not Rollins, excuse me. That's Reyes. Getting my teams mixed up here. And Blanton, they could keep him in, but they're going to give him the rest of the night off. They will bring in Jeff Jenkins to pinch hit. So Jenkins facing Muniz. Nobody on, 2 outs. 1 across on the home run. 6-6 against a lefty. That's a 1-4 home run. That's a 6, so it'll be a double for Jenkins. And now Jimmy Rollins with a runner at second and 2 outs. 5-11, batting from the left. That'll be a fly ball to right X. Right fielder Chavez, 2 range. He'll get to it, E2, and he should make the play. Yes, he does. So they do give up 1 more run. Carlos Muniz offering up a gopher ball to Pedro Feliz. Blanton has shaken hands, and it will be they're going to go ahead and use Adam Eaton in a sort of an inning-eating role here. So it'll be Castro, then the pitcher spot, then Reyes to face Adam Eaton. Relegated to the bullpen, 3-5 against a righty. Ballpark home run chance, 1-5, and it's going to stay in the park. Takes him a ways, but not deep enough. 1 down. Pitcher spot, another pinch hitter. They will go ahead and Bring in Brian Schneider. He may remain in the game. So Schneider, 5-4 against a lefty. Fly ball to center field. Victorino out there. 1. He gets to it. E2. Oh, a 5. Let's see what happens here. That's a rare play. It was a high number, so it's an F3 rare play. Runs into the gap and makes a nice catch. It's only if there's a lead runner on, so that's just caught. 2 outs. Jose Reyes. Oh, nobody on base. Didn't need to roll that. 5-8, batting from the left, grounded to second, and Utley throws to first. And no runs, no hits, no errors there. We will go ahead and they're just gonna go ahead and put Schoenweiss in the 9 hole. So 7-2 Phillies. Top of the 9th. Eaton in for mop-up duty. Schoenweiss in for kind of the same thing, I suppose. Chase Utley with a nice game. 2 for 3 and a walk. 3 runs scored, a stolen base. Can he do some more here off Schoenweiss? Ballpark home run. This one, is it way back enough? Is it going to clear? It needs a 1-5. Nope. That'll be caught at the base of the wall by Chavez for out number 1. Pat the Bat Burrell. And that's going to be a strikeout. Out number 2. And Ryan Howard, lefty on lefty. Violence here, maybe. Maybe. 3-8. Nope, strikeout. So we're going to go to the bottom of the 9th. They're going to keep Eaton in there to, again, kind of swirl the soapy water on the floor and see if they can, see if he can keep the blood from getting outside the room. It's going to be the heart of the order, though. The Phillies will get... They're going to get Brad Lidge up just for... they had a day off between games, so he's ready. And they're just going to keep him loosening up just in case. Endy Chavez. Batting from the right... pitching, a right-handed pitcher. 2-6. It's a grounder to Utley, and that'll be out number 1. David Wright, who is 1 for 2 with a home run, a walk, 2 runs batted in. Against a righty, 6-7. There's another walk for him. He is going to go on to second on defensive indifference. So Carlos Beltran. 3-2 is another walk. And it brings up Carlos Delgado. 7-2. No danger yet, but you got to be careful. Both runners are going to advance on defensive indifference. Now second and third with 1 away. And a potential balk for Eaton, but he has a 0 balk rating. So here we go. 4-6, batting from the left. Now there's trouble. 1-4 double. And that is what it's going to be. 2 base advance, so 2 runs will score, and it makes it 7-4. And that makes it a save opportunity. The Phillies will call on the pen now. And it's going to be Lidge with the runner at second and 1 out. Making it interesting. So here's Easley. Let's see. Are they going to do any pinch hitting here? Now they're going to stick with Easley. They might lift Anderson. We'll see. So Damian Easley, runner at second, 1 out. Lidge in to try and close this game out. 1-6. That's a strikeout. Lidge gets the better of him there. And now Marlon Anderson, they are going to bring in Fernando Tatis to try and maybe put a juicer into one here and see if they can extend this game. So here's Tatis with 2 outs and a runner at second and a potential wild pitch, 1-16, and he will go to third. So Tatis still at the plate. 2-4. That is going to be a clutch hit for Tatis, and that will score the run. So that will make it 7-5. Let's make sure. 7-5 with the tying run coming to the plate. That would be Ramon Castro. Do they have any more moves that would make sense here? They're going to go with Castro. So here we go. It's getting a little bit biting the nails time here. Brad Lidge has been pretty good. He hasn't been perfect this year, but Ramon Castro, 2 outs. That's a 5-7 against a righty. Struck him out. That game is over. Mets fall short. They pick up 3 in the ninth, but that's not enough as the Phillies do close it out 7-5. They get the same spread in the score that they got in real life. That was a 2-run victory on an 8-6. This is 7-5, so your winner will be Joe Blanton in his first start with the Phils. Alan Shaw, hi, how are you doing? Boy, it's still cold in the UK. It's still cold here in the eastern part of the United States, and it is 10 o'clock, just about. So let's close it out here. Good win for the Phillies. They moved to 52-48. Game 100 in the books. We got 62 remaining in this season, and we'll try to get through these as quickly as we can. Go check out Baseball Demos. I think he's going to go live here. If he's not already live, he will be shortly. Go check him out. Thanks for watching. Thanks for the likes, and we'll see you soon with another game of the 2008 Phillies replay here on Tabletop Baseball Plus for Tabletop Earl. This is Tenacious Earl. Thanks a lot, and enjoy your tabletop sports.